Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It seems like AOC is lying again, as per usual, and it seems we're going to have to correct her, as we always do on this channel, or any far-left person that seems to be getting anything wrong, or right person that seems to be getting things wrong as well, because I think that might be the also important thing to get done. And we have, we'll take a look at some of these clips to where AOC is going to completely tirade on what some of the reasons why they were having this whole hearing session, and on some of the other reasons relating to the Boston school. So we'll be correcting that shortly. All right, guys, here's a clip of this.
Generosity. I just want to start off right here at the top here. This isn't even my line of questioning, but I'd like to submit to the record a Washington Post article now warning about Hunter Biden laptop disinformation, the guy who leaked it. Here's the deal. Before I even get into my questions, I think that the story here with the Washington Post reporting is that what they're saying right here, when the New York Post first reported in October 2020 that it had obtained contents of a laptop computer allegedly owned by Joe Biden's son Hunter, there was an immediate roadblock faced by other news outlets that hoped to corroborate reporting, as many did. The newspaper wasn't sharing what it obtained. New York Post had this alleged information and was trying to publish it without any corroboration, without any backup information. They were trying to publish it to Twitter. Twitter did not let them, and now they were upset. I believe that political operatives who sought to inject explosive disinformation with the Washington Post couldn't get away with it. And now they're livid. And they want the ability to do it again. They want the ability to inject this again. So they've dragged a social media platform here in Congress. They're weaponizing the use of this committee so that they can do it again. A whole hearing about a 24-hour hiccup in a right-wing political operation. That is why we are here right now. And it's just an abuse of public resources, an abuse of public time. We could be talking about healthcare. We could be talking about bringing down the cost of prescription drugs. We could be talking about abortion rights, civil rights, voting rights. But instead, we're talking about Hunter Biden's half-fake laptop story. I mean, this is an embarrassment, but I'll go into it. Ms. Navaroli, let's talk about something real. I'd like to show you a tweet posted by former President Trump about my colleagues and I on July 14, 2019. It says in part, quote, "Why don't they go back and help fix the totally broken and crime-infested places from which they came? Then come back and show us how it's done. These places need your help badly. You can't leave fast enough. I'm sure that Nancy Pelosi would be very happy as quickly to work out free travel arrangements." A day or two after that, Donald Trump publicly incited, violence at a rally, targeting 4 congresswomen, including myself, saying, "Go back to where you came from." Ms. Navaroli, as I understand it, you were the most senior member of Twitter's content moderation team, or a senior member of Twitter's content moderation team when this was posted. As part of your responsibilities, did you review this tweet?
Yes, it was my team's responsibility to review these tweets.
And what did you conclude?
My team, Ray, made the recommendation that for the first time we find Donald Trump in violation of Twitter's policies and use the public interest interstitial.
For the first time?
Yes.
And at the time, Twitter's policy included a specific example when it came to banned abuse against immigrants, as they specifically included the phrase, "go back to your country," or go back to where you came from, correct?
Yes, that was specifically included in the content moderation guidance as an example.
You brought this up to the Vice President of Trust and Safety, Del Harvey, correct?
I did, yes.
And she overrode your assessment, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
And something interesting happened after she overrode your assessment. A day or two later, Twitter seemed to have changed their policies, didn't they?
Yes, that trope, "go back to where you came from," was removed from the content moderation guidance as an example.
So Twitter changed their own policy after the president violated it in order to potentially accommodate his tweet?
Yes.
Thank you. So much for bias against right wing on Twitter.
No, AOC, that is not the reason why we're having this hearing. The reason why we're having this hearing is because we have these 4 individuals that have been colluding with the government and trying to violate the First Amendment. That is one of the main reasons why we're having this hearing. It is not also due to the Hunter Biden thing, although that kind of does lump in a little bit of itself. But that is not the reason why. And also, the Hunter Biden thing is not fake. It's being shown and proven that Biden himself and Hunter Biden himself have also colluded with Ukraine and some other foreign entities that showed secretive documents to other countries. So yeah, I think it might be a kind of proof that has been proven to be correct. Another thing as well, you're also seem to be lying about many of the things that that is pertaining to this. All right. These people are criminals. They're not necessarily what we would call innocent, and you're thinking that this whole trial or whole thing is bogus when you most likely damn well know that it is not bogus. But of course, we have to leave it to you to constantly lie and try to get people on your side, even though we do know that you can't hold water to the flame. So, without further ado, guys, we're gonna go on to the next thing, to where she starts ranting about the libs of TikTok, and specifically lying about them as well, and saying how the Boston surgery thing was not happening to kids. Well, we have sad news for her. It has happened. Take a look.
With the account Libs of TikTok.
I have heard of it from the news, yes.
Mr. Roth, are you familiar with this account?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Are you aware that from August 11th to August 16th, that account posted false information about Boston Children's Hospital, claiming that they were providing hysterectomies to children?
Yes, I am aware of that and other claims from the account.
And are you aware that this lie was then circulated by other prominent far-right influencers?
Yes.
And are you aware that all these claims, which I have reiterated were false, culminated in a real-life harassment and ultimately a bomb threat to the Boston Children's Hospital?
Yes, I am aware.
And this account is still on that platform today, isn't it?
Regrettably, yes, it is.
Despite inspiring a bomb threat due to the right-wing incitement of violence against trans Americans in this country, because they cannot let go of this obsession with fixating violence and inciting violence against trans and LGBT people, in addition to immigrants, in addition to women of color. This is a party that cannot pick on anyone their own.
Sorry, AOC, we're gonna stop you right there, ma'am. So I think the one thing that we have to have is simple: to bust her bubble and to show that she's actively lying. All right, guys. So we all know that she's lying in this aspect, but we're gonna prove it to the leftists that think that we're not lying, that think that we are lying, and just wants to simply agree with her because she's insane. But she's wrong. The bomb threat had nothing to do with it, and I think the bomb threat happened to do with somebody else that was completely insane. Libs of TikTok did not post those lies. This is from Jared Breyer. I think this is how you pronounce his name. I apologize if I do not pronounce it correctly. This 2021 document is on a Boston Children's Hospital website. The Center for Gender Surgery provides gender affirmation surgery services to eligible adolescents. To be eligible, you must meet certain criteria. The criteria are not listed, but hysterectomies are listed. Goes right here. The Center for Gender Surgery is at Boston Hospital, provides gender affirming surgery services to eligible adolescents and young adults, usually after they have completed other steps in the gender affirmation process, such as taking supplemental hormones. To be eligible for these procedures, you must meet a certain criteria. Then we have this as well, the hysterectomy. This is another thing, a type of bottom surgery involving removing the uterus and fallopian tubes. This is a permanent and irreversible surgery. Because the purpose of the uterus is to carry a pregnancy, you won't be able to carry a pregnancy in the future after undergoing a hysterectomy. The uterus is also the source of menstrual periods, and removing it will remove any chance of having menstrual bleeding. The cervix is the opening to the uterus. Adults who have a uterus get screened or cervical cancer every few years. If you have a cervix removed, you will no longer need these screenings, typically done with a pelvic exam called a pap smear. A hysterectomy remains some of the vagina, and which can still be used for penetration if desired. So this is something that is true. Now we're not going to read the whole thing there, but we have this also, the document that shows from Jared Breyer. The document is here. The website seems to have been updated within the past year to make the criteria more clear, and in at least one case, increased the age from 17 to 18. So which we have here, to qualify for gender information at Boston Children's Hospital, you must be at least 18 years old for phalloplasty or medioplasty, and at least 70 years old for vaginoplasty. Then we have this, to qualify for gender information at Children's Hospital, you must be at least 18 years old for phalloplasty or medioplasty and for vaginoplasty. The document also states that the hospital provides a full suite of surgical options to transgender teens, which shows here, we take an interdisciplinary approach from the start to ensure exceptional patient care. Our skilled team includes specialists in plastic surgery, urology, endocrinology, nursing, gender services, and social work who collaborate to provide a full suite of surgical options for transgender teens and young adults. So, wrong again. And then the chest surgery is still available to 15-year-olds. Going on to say, the patients who want to pursue chest surgery must be 18 years old and have the following: a letter from a medical doctor or nurse practitioner stating that you have persistent, well-documented gender dysphoria and specifying either the length of hormone therapy or why you are not taking hormone therapy. A letter for a mental health provider stating that you have the capacity to consent and that any significant mental health issues are being addressed. Again, he will continue to go on that these documents are still on the site as well, to list 18 as an eligible age, and the third list 17, something that was later changed to 18. So, we have all this stuff here as well. Then we have bigger stuff. So I pretty much retweeted and got some of his information as well, along with her saying, trying to show that she is absolutely wrong on this. We go with the archive here, ladies and gentlemen. Give it some time to actually load up here. Probably should have done this previously to the video, but you get what I'm getting at. So we have this here is for Center for Gender Surgery, and then we also have what we have here with let's see. We'll have with this here with the Tom Grant Price, and with this guy here, and this is what we will have with all the gender surgery, what have you. So obviously, this is showing that the vaginoplasty, a lot of stuff, patients who are chest surgery must be at least 15 years old and have the following, and blah 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 blah. So obviously, she's lying completely out of her ass, and that the archives really just show on what's really going on here. This is because what we're seeing here is that she has been lying through this entire debacle, and that we have all going for all this stuff here. That this is all what she's pertaining to. So I don't see where she's going to be getting off with this, other than being completely psychotic. But we got you, AOC. We know who you are, and we're not lying about this. Maybe you should check yourself and probably remove yourself from Congress because you're going to be going a complete tirade about lying. This is all you do. This is all you're going to continue to do, and we're going to be here calling you out. See you in the next expose of you showing how much you lie. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care.